Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Make sure you guys can see me. Yes, hello. Hello, hello. Hi, you guys. Happy, oh, is it? What is it? The 5th. Happy Monday. So I didn't shower today. So this is what you get. You get kind of the messy bun and, are you guys there? Hang on, just making sure. Everyone's so quiet all of a sudden. Everyone's probably so shocked because I don't think you ever see me like this. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. There's Carol. All right. Anyhow, so you can tell this is how I'm comfortable with you guys because no makeup, hair in a messy bun. I had my, oh, did it? Okay. It's okay. I never know like how long I have to wait before. Carla, oh my gosh. Okay, Carla. I know Carla and Carol, there are two of you, well, more than two of you, but I think the two of you, I'm constantly calling one of you the wrong one. Anyhow, oh, Elizabeth, you're so sweet. Lynn, you look so that's it, right? You look so comfortable. Yes, yeah, so Nick and I went on a hike this morning for a couple of hours and came home, and my closet has been in need of some help for quite a while. So I don't know, probably spent a couple of hours in my closet trying everything on, purging to donate and things. And then we shipped orders for a couple of hours, and I just never showered after our hike. So this is what you get. I have to tell you, I did contemplate not starting this way and just starting down. But I thought, you know what? It's good. It's all good, right? It's all good. Um, Carla, you've been called worse. That's funny. All right, you guys. So we are, well, everyone's here, hopefully, for the July part of the Midsummer Traveler's Notebook Kit. Oh my gosh, this whole thing, still, Simple Stories, still does not have, well, as of last Thursday, in the summertime, they have, their hours are a little bit different. They don't work on Fridays. So everybody works 4/10s, but they don't work on Fridays. And then I think they also weren't working today. So we're all going to cross our fingers and hope that over the last 4 days or so, that maybe that product that they've been waiting for, the rest of Simple Vintage Lemon Twist, will magically arrive. But normally you guys have your Traveler's Notebook kits in hand well before the beginning of the month. At least that's my goal. If you order, you know, when I first release, then you have them well before. And it's usually like the last week of the month, the prior month, that we are sitting down and putting together our Traveler's Notebooks. In this case, no, because, well, long story with the product with Simple Stories, but then if you joined me on Saturday in our listing session, I kind of talked about this for a sec. When I sat down to schedule this class, I wanted to make sure that we got it done very quickly. And I couldn't do it on the 1st because I needed to make sure that people, as many people as possible, had their kits before we did it live. And then yesterday, so Saturday, anyhow, long story, but I'm like, if the 5th is the earliest we can do it, that'll be great. Not even thinking that the 5th is a lot of people observe 4th of July today. So if you were watching the replay and you couldn't make it tonight and you're like, why in the world did she schedule it? I just wasn't thinking. So, but that's what we're going to do. So I am going to flip the camera and then we'll go ahead and dig in. I know, Carla, absolutely. The rest of it, I mean, the collection is so beautiful. But I'm glad we at least have a little tiny bit to play with right now. I'll have the, like I always do, the 6x8 pad, the sticker book, the die cuts, the washi, all the fun things. All right, so we are going to, I'm just looking at quick look at the chat. I think we're good. So I'm going to rotate, the camera and then we will get on our way. Okay, Tina. All right. Spin. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and spin. If I was a 6-inch ruler, where would I be? I would be right here, right here. I know, don't you hate it when that happens? That's so frustrating. Okay, let's see. So we have Elizabeth, we have Lynn. Hi, Lynn, and Carla, Kathy, Robin, Kelly, Tina, Cheryl, and Lauren in the yarn. And now I know Lauren's story, right? Because I think you told me, didn't you, Lauren, that you knitter, and that's what, yeah, that's what you're called now. Hi, Kim. All right, you guys, so we are going without lights again today, and I think that we are good, especially this time of year. Especially this time of year when it's still so light out, because I still get too hot. Hi, Bev. All right, so the first thing I do when I sit down to set up my Traveler's Notebook for a new month, I unload, right? So I come into my past one. So this was June, and I take my inserts out of the slip covers. And these just move with me from month to month. Hi, Rachel. My inserts move with me from month to month. And one of the inserts that I use is a monthly. And that has my little calendar in it. Then the other one, yeah, this one doesn't have it. The other one is just like I put notes in, project planning, all different kinds of things. So there are my two. And we'll put this little guy off to the side. So with your kit, the pieces that we will be using for our setup this month, we are going to use part of the washi. I know, Cheryl. Okay, Cheryl said, I've been waiting nervously for this class. I was worried the collection wouldn't make it. You and me both, sister. Because, I mean, I order all my product. As soon as Simple Stories announces a release to their retailers, I order all my products. So right now, I have product ordered for Christmas. I have product ordered for Halloween because I have to do it in advance. So I had all the product ordered for this kit. Simple Stories, this part of the kit, and then Photoplay, the other part of the kit. So I've had the Photoplay product forever. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? If it doesn't get here, what am I gonna do? If we don't have it, then do I do that one and then try to find something else in the last minute? So yes, I was very happy that they decided to move forward to ship what they had, which was the domestic manufactured product. So Cheryl, that's a good question, whether they will be on time or not. I was actually up there. I drove up to Simple Stories to pick this up so I could get it. Oh, I know what's happening. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Right? Oh, yes, I forgot to plug in. Okay, there we go. I think you guys could hear me, but not see me, and I froze because my phone was almost dead. And so it was telling me to plug it in, and I plugged it in. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was just chit-chatting. Okay, Lauren, the gnomes were why I joined. They're so cute. So Cheryl, I know what I was saying. I drove up to Simple Stories. As soon as they were ready to ship what they have of Lemon Twist, I drove up to get it just because we'd have it sooner. They were telling me that there are two main ports in Southern California that product comes into from China. Normally they use the ports in LA, but they knew enough in advance that there were problems with the ports in LA when they had the new product, which is like the Christmas and the Halloween, that is now also supposed to ship this month. They routed that to Long Beach instead. So we'll see. We shall see what we get, right? Okay, so the product that we need from the kit for our July setup, you want your little popsicle stick. And you know what, Cheryl, really for all of us, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't, like if it takes 2 or 3 more days, I want to have my Traveler's Notebook set up. We've got to have this stuff. We will also have your 3x4, 4x6 pocket page. And yes, Kim emailed and said, why do I have this? And I said, oh, We'll do something fun with it. We have the 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and then there are 4 papers. So I usually do 3 in a collection, right? So we have those 3. You also have a piece of white cardstock. So what I want all of us to remember, okay? Hi, Jeanette. What I want all of us to remember, including me, when we are done with the white cardstock, when we're done with what we need it for the month of July, we want to put the extra back into our kit. We want to put the extra back into the bag because we will use some of the extra white for our setup for August. Okay, we're all going to remember that. All right, so let's go ahead and get out our trimmer. We are going to, we'll start with the white. The white we are actually going to use to slip cover one of our inserts. So I know Lauren's new. Lauren said that she was new. And I know we also have more new people, whether or not you're in the chat. And if you're not in the chat, no worries. Whether or not you're watching live. I think especially with this one, we have a lot of folks that will be watching after the fact because it's still kind of holiday here in the US. So the inserts that I always use in the kits are standard wide. Hi, Mindy. Are standard wide. They are 5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. And the first thing that we do when we get our kit is we start cutting the paper. And when we're cutting a paper that is going to cover our insert, we want it to be the same height. So 8.25, which means I'm going to trim my white cardstock to 8.25 because we actually are going to use this as a slip cover. All right. I think we can do this now. So take the white that you have left over, pop it back in your kit bag. So we have that for next month. And that's all we're going to do with that piece for right now. This is also one of our papers that we will be using to cover our inserts. So this one also needs to be 8.25. Now this is something that's really important. This paper on one side has no direction to it, right? What I mean by that is no matter how you turn it, it has the same pattern. The other side though definitely has a pattern to it. So I slip covered my insert with that yellow pattern, okay? So if you are going to do the same, and I know some of you are like, but I really love like the buffalo check. I don't want to cover that up. Either way, I want us to turn it over to this side. So if we do want to use this pattern, that we're cutting correctly for the pattern. So we'll go ahead and first trim off our product strip. And now we want this to be 8.25 inches tall, just like the other one, because that is the height of our insert. If we were using a different size insert, maybe you have a different size traveler's notebook, then you would be cutting this paper to the height of your insert. So we're 8.25, so we're trimming to 8.25. And this, just hold on to that. All right, next up, we have this paper. So this paper, normally when I include Simple Stories products in the Traveler's Notebook kits, normally I use the 3x4 cards, right? And what I mean when I say 3x4 cards, it's the paper that has all the 3x4 cards on it, right? Oh, that one's not even the same. In this case, I wanted to pull into something a little bit different. And those of you that have worked with maybe my last couple mini book project kits, like the Getaway one and the Sunny Days one, I've used this paper. Well, this style of paper. And it's really fun, I think, because you have all of these different size little cards. Some are wider than 3x4s, some are narrower, some are much taller. So this is kind of fun to play around with because it gives us a lot of different kind of sizes to play with. So go ahead, trim off the product strip, and I would encourage you to save these little guys, okay? Save these little guys because we might use them. I know, Kim, it's time for a new mini book kit. It's the Simple Vintage Lemon Twist one. So, gosh, as soon as I have the product, it'll be pretty quick. It'll be pretty quick because I know people have been chomping at the bit. All right, so now let's go ahead and trim apart this paper. We can't really trim across, right? If we trim across, we're going to bisect a whole bunch of these little cards, and we don't want to do that. But we can trim vertically to start. So let's just go ahead and trim vertically in between all of those cards. Yes, Kim, yep, we're trimming all of those different cards. And while I am trimming, I'm going to tell you guys a fun little story about Kim and Mindy. So if you participate, if you ever attend or hop into the Saturday List With Me live sessions here on my YouTube channel, then you may, Kim Pope and or Mindy Hall, their names may be familiar to you. But they also both do the Traveler's Notebooks, these monthly Traveler's Notebook kits as well with me. So you may be familiar with their names or whatever there. So Mindy recently moved from Washington State to Oklahoma. And Kim Pope happens to live in Oklahoma. So on Saturday, this was so cool. I'm doing my listing thing and all the people are in the chat and they're just chit-chatting, you know, typing. And turns out they are like one town away from each other, right, ladies? And so I think that they're gonna like connect and meet in person, which is so cool. Which is, I think is just so cool. That's one of the really cool things that come out of our little Saturday sessions. It's a suburb. There you go. Perfect. That's just crazy. I mean, what are the odds, really? That's just fun. Yep. Oh, good. 5 minutes away. Oh my gosh. Honestly, that is crazy. I just think that's so cool. And I love that you guys are going to get together. That's so fun. All right. So there we go. We chopped up all those little pieces. Let's go ahead and put those off to the side. Yep. Okay. Everything's off to the side. I'm going to put this guy off to the side as well. And we've cut those two pieces. All right. Last thing that we want to cut, and let's take a look. Let's take a look at what one of the inserts looks like. So I loved this paper. And if you love this paper too, and you're looking forward to my Lemon Twist mini book kit, well, you're really gonna like this paper because I use it in that one too. Well, I ordered it for that one too. But I thought this paper is so fun. It is just so, it has so much, it looks like dimension to it, right? But it doesn't because it's all flat. All of the artwork is done in layers, but it looks like somebody spent a lot of time painstakingly adding all these layers, adding a little bit of chicken wire, which we could never do in our Traveler's Notebook, right? It would be too bulky. Having some string, some lace, a little bit of sewing, a doily. But it's hard to use a paper like this with our Traveler's Notebooks because what we normally do is we normally slip cover, right? So we normally take, where did that go? We normally take one of our papers and we do this to it, right? And then we wrap it around. So if we wanted to do that with this paper, well, it wouldn't really work. That would be on the back, right? And who wants to have that on the back? That wouldn't be very fun. So anytime I include a paper like this in one of the Traveler's Notebook kits, I also include a piece of white cardstock so that we can use that fun pattern. It's just we're going to cut that out. We cut that out and then we wrap our insert with white and then have that beautiful artwork on top of it. So we need to make a couple of decisions. We have to decide where we want this to be cut. I cut right here. So right in there. And then I cut right along here. And that gave me just a little bit of white border up at the top and the bottom. So if you wanted to have a little bit of the white border at the top and the bottom, then you would cut, like I'm going to cut right now, just right along that top edge and right along that bottom edge. If you didn't want to have a white border and you really wanted it to go top to bottom, then you just need to give yourself a little bit of extra room. So let's go ahead, grab your trimmer, and I'm just going to cut right about there. So I'm just cutting to the right of that black doily. All right. And I might as well, while I have my trimmer, I'm going to need to do some fussy cutting, but I might as well, while I have my trimmer, cut a little bit of it. And I actually left a little tiny bit of that blue, maybe like 1/4 of an inch of that blue polka dot on the bottom. And then up here, I cut off all of that. So let's see, like so. All right. So up at the top, I've pretty much cut right along that nice striped distressed border. And then at the bottom, I left, looks like I left just one little row of those polka dots. So that's my bottom, just one little row of those polka dots. All right. We can put our trimmer away. And I am going to grab some little fussy cutting scissors because on mine, I wanted to cut around that entire piece. All right. If you wanted, you could just take that full piece, and that full piece could go, you could adhere that to the top of your white slipcover. So I think what I'll do is I did my sample this way, where I fussy cut basically all this excess off, and I fussy cut around that doily and then adhered to my white slipcover. I think maybe this one, I will do it just with this whole piece. So you can decide what you want to do, but I'll try it this way for this guy. All right, so we're going to do our slipcovers first, and then we'll go back and decorate pockets. I think I usually do it opposite way, but that's all right. Okay, when we slipcover our inserts, depending on where you cut off your the excess, you may have the little barcode sticker on there. That should just come right off. And that'll go on the inside anyway, but I just don't want it to be in the way. All right, so when we slipcover, fold in half or score in half. If you have a scoreboard that you want to use, you could score it in half. I will use my bone folder though, just so it'll give me a little bit of a more crisp fold right there. If you are new and this is the first time that you've done one of my bi-monthly Traveler's Notebook kits, I always slipcover my inserts, and I usually talk about this every time. This all came about, my gosh, probably 3 years ago now. I was setting up my Traveler's Notebook for Christmas because I wanted it to be all cute, and I just took Christmas paper and glued it to the front of to the cover of my insert. And then I decorated it, and it was super cute, but it was very Christmassy. So once January rolled around, I went, uh-oh, now I have a problem because I'm still using, I haven't filled out my Traveler's Notebook yet. And now it has Christmas glued to it. So how do I go to January with it when it has Christmas all over it? Christmas is over. I don't want to keep doing that. That's where I came up with the idea of slip covering the insert. So it's very similar to, at least when I was in grade school, you'd go to school and you'd get your textbooks, And the teacher would say, okay, go home and cover your textbooks. So they would protect them. And then you could doodle on them and add stickers or whatever. But you could kind of change, right? Change the way they looked based on making a brown paper sack cover for your textbook. So it's basically the same thing. That's what we're doing. So we have our white cardstock here. I have folded it in half. And I lay my insert down to the right of that little half mark. I open the cover and I'm going to rotate it because it's just easier for me to do it that way. I want to wrap the excess, which is about 1 inch, because our standard wide inserts are 5 inches wide. So 5 and 5 would be 10. Our paper is 12 inches wide, so that would give us an extra inch. I fold the excess over, and I'm just using that edge as a guide so I know where to fold. Okay, fold it over like that, and I'll use my bone folder again. If you don't have a bone folder, something like a, something that has a blunt edge to it, a ruler, anything that has a blunt edge that will just help that to lay down flat. All right, so there is the front. My front, hang on. I keep using this same insert, I think, when I move forward every time, and it has an issue because I'm always a little bit off when I do that with it. All right, there we go. So the front is covered. Now when we get to the back, we don't want to do the same thing. So we don't want to open it up and do this and fold again. If we do that, it's going to bow on us. And what I mean by that is, it has a little bit of width to it. How do I say that? It has a little bit of, it needs to have some extra to wrap around that curve, right? Because it's not a flat piece. So it's really, when it's laid out, it's probably like 10 1/8 instead of just 10. So I want to fold it around the back side, right? So it's folded around the back side. This is my front cover. We can see, let me do this. We can see that, there we go. We can see that excess right there. That we need to fold in. So I'm just going to lift that up like that and do the same thing. Use that edge as my guide of where I want to fold it. And there we go. Now, I like to round the corners of my inserts because I just like that look better. The inserts are already rounded, and obviously when you're slip covering, you have that right angle. So I like to round my corners, and you can round your corners, whatever kind of corner rounder you have. I generally come in with my big corner chomper because it just will go through lots of those little layers. So I round all corners. All right, so what I had done, like I said, on my sample, I had fussy cut everything around. Sounds like Kim fussy cut hers. But I think it'll be kind of interesting to see what it looks like if it's not fussy cut. If you would like to, actually, let me round these corners. If you are going to fussy cut yours and you need a little bit more time, you can obviously do that. You could pause the video if you would like. That's one of the nice things that you're able to do while we're doing this live. You can pause and then restart again if you need. All right, so get out my adhesive. And we'll just right there, kind of centered. All right, so here we go. One on the left with the sample, and the one on the right where I just kept that yellow background. Both cute. Okay, next thing I do, I come in with my little Sharpie because I always outline things. On this guy, I will outline on the entire piece as opposed to just outlining that slip cover that I did. I tell you, this collection, oh, it's so good. The yellow and the teal and the black, it's just, oh, I love it, love it, love it. All right. Now I did a couple of other things with my black pen. No surprise. I'm going to pull this guy up so you can see them side by side. Let me make sure that you guys can see. All right. So on the left, you can see I outlined that butterfly. So butterfly just kind of stands out a little bit more because I outlined around the outside of his wings. I also did the same thing with the zest little tag down below and that little yellow gingham tag as well. That way, to me, they looked, I think for me, outlining those pieces makes it look a little bit more like it has more dimension, like it's not just everything is flat on one piece of paper. So if you wanted to do that, you could. I do this a lot. And if you're doing the Twilight Traveler's Notebook Kit with me, you'll see I did that quite a bit on one of the papers. And it's so interesting how sometimes it just totally makes it pop a little bit. And then same thing here. Because with my Traveler's Notebooks, generally they don't have a lot of dimension, right? Because I'm writing in them. And so if things have a lot of dimension, it makes it a little bit harder to write. But if we can pull in a pen and give it a little bit of extra dimension, you could even do something like, let me see what I have in my little drawer behind me. If you have Stickles. So if you have Stickles glitter glue, I love Stickles, and I'll do that to this guy and then set it off to the side. So I just pulled out platinum. And if I wanted, I could come in here and just give the center of this little butterfly a little bit more dimension, right? By just putting a little bit of glitter glue on him. And if I wanted, I could also do something like just a regular clear one. And maybe a regular clear one, I just want to add on some of the little lemon parts. So glitter glue that Stickles is a great way to just add a little bit of extra dimension. Salvage patina. Oh, yep. Okay, Lauren. Okay, what Lauren is talking about, and oh my gosh, if I could show you this, you guys. My inks now are all organized. All my distress inks all organized. So I knew exactly where to find that. But yes, that's the one that Lauren was talking about. That Salvage patina is like, look at that. That is like a perfect match. So you could ink edges too. Yeah, inking the edges would definitely give things a little bit more kind of pop and dimension. But let me just hold this up, see if you can see. So see the little, there we go. See the little butterfly? And now it's just a little bit of platinum. That's probably my favorite color, Stickles, because that's a good mix between a gold and a silver. And then I just added Stardust on those little lemon parts. So it just gives things a little bit more dimension. It's kind of funny on the lemon parts. It makes it almost look like you can see the lemon juice squeezing out. So, all right. Not a clue where I put my, yeah. I always know where mine are. They're in the drawers right behind me. So that's one of the drawers. So that's handy. That's helpful. All right, but now I need to put that off to the side because if I don't put that off to the side, it's going to cause me a problem later because the Stickles will stick. They'll get everything all nice and sparkly. All right, so that, oh, that's not it. That's not it. You know what, I started, normally we do our pockets first, so I'm a little discombobulated. All right, so I did add a couple of stickers from our sticker sheet. This little half butterfly, and, oh, Pop Dots. That's what I forgot to get out. Some Pop Dots. Hang on. That's so weird. I wonder where they went. Well, have no fear. I have other Pop Dots, but hold on. That's gonna bug me because those are gonna be too big. I'm just walking across the room. I'm not going anywhere. All right, friends, when I cleaned up on Saturday, no, I wouldn't have used Pop Dots then on Saturday. So when I last cleaned up, what did I do with them? I'm still here. Just looking. Oh, they're there. They were just in the back of the drawer. Okay, we're good. Those circles are just a little bit too tall. Okay, we're back. All right, so this little, that little half well, it's a whole butterfly, but we're just seeing his profile, right? I'm taking a little Pop Dot and I'll put it right there, just behind the top wing. And that's gonna kind of go right about there. And so the top wing is lifted, so it just makes it look like he's in flight as opposed to flat on the page. And then the other sticker is just one of the little bees, and the bees are all pretty much the same, so it doesn't matter which bee you use. I did the same thing here. Take one of the little bees and Pop Dot that little bee. Probably about right there. Then I took my little black Sharpie and made like the flight path of the bee. Just with little dashes. There we go. So it's like the bee is, you can see that the bee is like back here and the bee is flying out and kind of flying away. Now that insert is decorated and ready to roll. Oh, one quick thing. The washi that you have in your kits on the popsicle stick. I didn't do it there either. I have gotten to that point in my traveler's notebooks that I don't use washi for what I'm about to show you that I used to do. I will take washi. Did I do it there? Nope, not there either. I'll take a little strip of washi and just temporarily adhere the slipcover to the insert. But what I started to find was, I mean, it sticks fine by itself. As long as it's living inside of your traveler's notebook, the cover, through the elastics, that is not going to go anywhere. So I don't really use my washi here any longer when I'm slip covering. If you'd like to do that, you can. You have plenty. And I just usually use maybe like a 2-inch strip, and I put a little strip right there. I won't do that on that one because that's wet. Where did we go? Oh, here we go. So I could take like a little 2-inch strip and go like that. And then it's definitely going to hold it in place. All right, since we're doing our slip covers, we might as well do our next one too. As I said when we were cutting the paper, I have used this really pretty yellow. And it's funny because when I ordered the product for the kit, in my head, that's funny. You guys couldn't see me, but I took my hand and I'm like, you know, the side of my head with my finger. In my head, I had planned on using this because I love this. Well, clearly, You can see how much I love it because look, same thing. But when I sat down to kind of design and put it together, I'm like, oh my gosh, no. Really, I have to use the yellow. So you decide what you'd like to do. You do you, as I always say. If you want to have the buffalo check facing up, or if you want to have the yellow pattern facing up. Probably the other reason, because even the inside of my traveler's notebook has that gingham. So I had a lot of gingham in there already. So I decided to go with the yellow. All right, so usually what I do when I am folding, and we didn't talk about this with the white because the white was the same on the front and the back. When you fold a piece of paper, a lot of times you'll start to see breakage on the fold, right? And I don't mean like tearage, I just mean breakage, where the fibers will start to break. They'll separate from the paper and you'll kind of see the white core of the paper. That always happens, well, if it's going to happen, it will happen on the peak side of your fold versus the valley side. So if you think about, if we fold like this would be the valley side. And if we fold like this would be the peak side. So that fiber breakage takes place on the peak side of your fold. So if I don't want to have fiber breakage on the outside of my slipcover, then I would fold the opposite way. I would fold the outside in so that the peak is really the inside. Does that make sense? So I'll just come here and I will fold. And it doesn't happen all the time. And it's nothing wrong with the paper. It's something wrong with it. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just that sometimes if there's ever going to be breakage, that's what's going to happen. It'll happen on the peak side of the fold versus the valley. So I do, and it's hard to see on this one just because part of it's white. But I'm sure you guys know, if you make cards or you're folding paper, a lot of times you'll see some of that breakage. That's a little tip. If you always fold outside in, then you won't have that breakage. So then I flip it like that. Alrighty, next up, here's my second insert. Same thing. You know what I could do, and I don't ever do it this way, I don't know why. I could do the fold just like I did the backwards one. I mean the one for the back cover. So that's my front cover. I can take that and fold along the edge of the insert, using that as my guide, okay? And then just do the same thing here. This is my back. You can see there's some of my washi. This is my back cover, so back inside cover. And I can just do the same thing that I did before. I'm trying to do this so I'm not covering everything up when I do it. You guys can still see. Just use the edge of that insert as my guide for where I fold. And then I round the corners again. This one, my monthly insert, is about ready. It needs to be recovered. I need to recover it because it is, once I'm done with the year, then I will recover it. Because a lot of times what happens is, well, that's what's happening. It gets moved around a lot. It gets used a lot. It gets opened and closed a lot. So sometimes the insert itself will separate from the cover. And then you can just recover it. All right, so let's outline. If you're outlining. You could ink, right? If we wanted to ink the edges, you know what we'll do? Let's just see, since we have that salvaged patina out. What I really need is, where's my blender? I need a blender. There we go. There's a nice clean blender. Blender tool. Oh, that reminds me, I got the coolest new thing. It is right here. Looky, looky. Kelly, yes. you get one insert. When I first started doing the kits, I've always only included one insert. The reason for that, well, number one, it's to keep the cost of the kit down for you guys, so we still stay at 20. But the other thing is, well, I shouldn't say all the traveler's notebooks I carry, most traveler's notebooks already come with one insert. And so we work with 2 inserts. You always have one insert in your kit every month. But what I've also had a lot of people tell me is that you don't go through a full insert every month. So you have one insert every kit so that you can start kind of moving through or rotating your inserts, if that makes sense. All right, so let's just, ooh, let's see what this little guy looks like. That is like a perfect match. So this that I'm doing here, I'm just kind of ad-libbing, friends, but just like I did with the stickles. You're not missing anything. You didn't miss me telling you to have ink and a blending tool or stickles or anything like that. We're just kind of ad-libbing and looking at how we could do something a little bit different. Yeah, that's like, that color is the perfect match. All right. Let me get those put away. I even put all my inks when I organized them. They're all in order of color and they're just lovely. Okay, next up, we are looking for, and welcome, Kelly. I should have said that before you answered your question. Welcome, Kelly. All right, and anyone else that's new. This is the card that I used for decorating this, this insert. And I love that. I like to use library cards. I use library cards and pockets in my lists, my traveler's notebook lists quite often, and I use them for a lot of journaling too. So I loved kind of that look of it because it's a library card, but then it has that beautiful butterfly on it as well. And I used the black photo corners for my card, but you have black, you have teal, and you have yellow. So if you slip covered with the black side instead of the yellow side like I did, you might want to switch out the black photo corners that I used for the yellow or the teal. So it's nice that you have a couple of different options there. We'll grab our tape runner right about there. And do a photo corner on each little corner. I don't use photo corners very often. I don't know why. When they're part of a collection, I usually don't use them, but I loved how that looked. It just kind of really helped to kind of ground that piece onto our cover. And some more outlining. And this one, 3 extra stickers I added. A teal butterfly, a yellow, and then that little label that says be sweet, be kind. So with the teal butterfly right there, I add a little pop dot just behind one of the wings. And again, that's just going to give me a little bit of dimension and make it look like maybe that butterfly's mid-flight. Kelly, thanks for the warm welcome. I'm not new to you. I'm a lurker. Oh gosh. Good. Wonderful. Well, welcome to the Traveler's Notebook Kits. All right. Then we have a little yellow one. Yellow butterfly. And looks like I put a pop dot on the left side and the right side of the wings. So one on each side. And then we'll use the sticker part of the sticker to kind of stick the center down. So center now is down and the two wings are lifted. So it kind of looks like, again, that it's a little bit more dimensional and in flight, not so flat. Last thing, be sweet, be kind. And on this one, I added a pop dot right at the start. And this guy goes right there. And the sticker part's holding it down, but then the pop dot is kind of helping that lift off the page a little bit. So a banner, if you had a banner and it was like hanging off the butterfly, and if you had a banner and it's, I don't know, hanging off your front porch or something, a lot of times it looks like it's kind of waving in the wind. So if we add a little pop dot there, it just gives a little bit, again, a little bit more dimension. All right, so there are our inserts. Let's now decorate pockets, and then we're going to come back to one of the inserts when we're done. All right, we'll move this off to the side. Oh, guess what I forgot to bring upstairs? I forgot. I would have realized this much earlier. I need another one of these, friends. I need a blank one so that I can decorate pockets. So bear with me for 1 second while I run downstairs and get one. Whoopsie. Okay. So funny. No matter always how prepared I think I am, forget something. Love it when she says, whoopsie. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Now we're ready. All right. Open that up. It's a brand new. All right. So I'll take out the one that came with it, and we'll just pretend. I'll put this guy in here, and this guy in here. Oh, it can't go there. It's gonna cause a problem. Bear with me. Sandra, it is salvaged patina. It is the most recent most recent until this coming Saturday. The most recent color released from Tim Holtz in his collection of colors. So salvaged patina. There's a brand new one. He's got a brand new color releasing, I think this Saturday, I want to say. This Saturday or next Saturday, I don't remember. All right, so let me just get this guy in here. And now we'll decorate the pockets. So, pocket decoration. Depending on the Traveler's Notebook cover that you have, you may have an entirely different configuration of pockets than I do. And they're all a little bit different. But most of them, all of the ones that I carry do have pockets on the front and side cover. This one that I'm using is the Buffalo Check from Scallop Buffalo Check, I think, from Doodlebug. So Doodlebug Traveler's Notebooks, the covers, they always have 1, 2, 3 pockets. They have a window pocket right here. And then they have that kind of side secretarial pocket. I'm going to take this little guy out and we'll decorate our pockets. So let's grab all of these little cards that we had cut apart, and we will start from the top. And the very first one that I have there is this one, but it is the back side. So I always start from the top and work my way down. That guy will go right about there. Below it is, where's that little black one? There's lots of little pieces now. There it is. So the little black one just kind of goes in there a little bit, and I'll get these set. Once I kind of get everything in, then I will kind of make sure they're in the right place or where I want them to be. Next up, we need that card that has the bird on it. Where is, oh, there it is. Yes. All right, so that little guy is actually going to go in here. It'll kind of stick out, barely out this second pocket that I have. Next up, this one, love this, just so pretty. Those colors are just so pretty. What I did here, actually, now that I look at it, this guy doesn't sit in this pocket. This one moves all the way down to this pocket so that I can see more of that whole pattern. A lot of that would get lost if I tucked it in the pocket above it. So those two are in that side secretarial pocket. This guy is in the first main pocket, and then this one's in the second one. Okay, now we're looking for this one. So cute, the little lemons. I love the lemons in this collection. Maybe that guy right about there. Now, there are some things that we'll come back and add. Those are all little stickers. So we're gonna wait to add those stickers until we get the cards in. This is the next one. This guy will go right there. Then this one. That will go about right there. And then, if you have a traveler's notebook that has a window right here, this little piece fits that almost perfectly. So this, it's the great height. It's a little bit narrower than the pocket, but that is okay because I'm just gonna kind of move that around a little bit. And you'll just see a little bit of whatever's behind it. We can actually hide a little bit of whatever's behind it by tilting like that. Then you don't even see what's coming out. You don't see anything on either side of that. If you don't have a window in the bottom section of your traveler's notebook, that's okay. You could put nothing there. You could, if you want to, take this piece and just with a little tiny bit of adhesive, your tape runner, adhere it to the front of that pocket if you would like to have that piece there. All right, so now sometimes I do this beforehand, before I start loading up the pockets, but I'm outlining those cards because that's what I do. And we'll fix that bird. He won't be so hidden. If you are an inker, if you want to ink, then absolutely. Oh, this guy actually goes right there. If you are an inker and you have the Salvage Patina, or if you have a yellow, or if you have a black, you could ink the edges of your cards instead, or just leave them plain. I just like to do the outlining because it just makes things pop. And I can't not do it because it looks really weird to me if I don't. All right, there we go. All right, so now let's look at our stickers and what stickers that we are going to add. Put that under there for now so it lays flat. All right, so right here, that little lemon. And with the lemon, I just add a pop dot right behind the back of the greenery on the lemon, just so it has, again, a little bit more dimension. Because we can play with a lot of dimension in our pockets because that's not going to affect our writing. It's not going to make it really bumpy if we're trying to write in one of our inserts. So I like to add a little bit of dimension when I can to the pockets. All right, so now we have, looks like 3 stickers right there. So I took, I don't know, you could just pick, really. I picked a teal one, a black one, and then a yellow one. And this is the only place that I used any of these stickers. So if there are any little words or sentiments that you really enjoy, like, oh, happy day, then maybe you want to save that one because we're just basically using, well, at least the teal and the yellow, we're just using for color. The black one says happy thoughts, so I use that one. But you can just pick 3. Looks like I picked Squeeze Me, Happy Thoughts, and then, I don't know, I probably do make more lemonade because I probably wouldn't use that anywhere. So these are probably one about right there. The black one right there, so we can see the little part that says happy thoughts. And the yellow one is just going to kind of hide, under the black, just so we have a little pop of color right there. Then I took one of these little yellow or ticket stickers. I did the one that says lemonade and little pop dot behind it. And it's going to be layered just kind of right in there, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And having that pop dot really helps with that. So this, when we're decorating pockets, it's all about the layers, right? We're just trying to add a lot of layers to give things a little bit more dimension. Next up is that flower, that teal flower. And that one will also get a pop dot. Oops. Lost my, well, didn't lose it, but jiggled my iPad. Okay, there we go. This guy will kind of come just right there. That one's too tall. That. Then this one has a big sticker. That guy, right in the center, that says good thoughts. When you pull this off, be careful because you just don't want to pull it and like rip part of it since it's a bigger sticker and it has like some parts that are poking out a little bit. So here I am going to add a pop dot right there and right there. So basically behind those 2 little flowers. And this guy, I tucked into the pocket so I wouldn't see the good thoughts part. Not that I don't have good thoughts, it's just that the good thoughts don't need to be prominent right there. And that way I'm just kind of seeing just a little bit more color and pattern and not getting distracted by the words because we're also going to cover part of it up. So we need 2 more stickers. We have a black heart and then a yellow poppy. I love poppies. I love the way they look in someone's yard as soon as they bloom. But then like a hot minute later, they just look like big old weeds. So I love them. I have a love-hate relationship with the poppies. I don't know if I've ever seen a yellow poppy before. All right, sticker, my heart sticker, pop dot behind the right ventricle. like that. And then our yellow poppy pop dot as well. And that will just kind of tuck right in there, like that. All the little flowers are growing out. All right, last thing, I just added 2 little stickers here. So another little bee sticker. And one of these little stickers along the bottom, I picked the one that said it's all good. But you have all of those stickers. So if you want to use any of those stickers, if you want to use all of those stickers, you have any of those to use in place of it's all good if you don't want to use it's all good. So that just goes right about there. Oh, I know what I did. I chopped off the ends. It was a little bit too long. So I just went ahead and chopped off those little ends that have little notches in them. So that guy is right there. It fits a little bit better that way. And then old bumblebee right there. So once I get my pockets kind of situated and I'm like, okay, it looks good. I can still see all the things that I want to see. I will come back with my tape runner and just in a couple of key strategic places, tack it down. This is one right there. So I'm just adding a tiny bit of tape, like literally maybe 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, just enough so that that piece isn't going to slide around. And I want to do the same with this guy. Now, depending on how high I got these stickers, those stickers may actually help to hold that guy in. But if you need to give him a little bit of extra help, then again, just another little tack it down. We just don't want these things to move, right? Well, we're working with our Traveler's Notebook throughout the month, and we spend a lot of time getting our Traveler's Notebook set up, and we like it to look like this. We don't want those pieces to fall out, or we don't want them to get all scawampus so we can't see the bird's head or whatever. So then I just kind of tug. That's in there pretty well because all of these stickers are kind of holding it down. So I don't need to, well, if I wanted, I could just come here. Add a little tiny bit right there. That guy is okay because that sticker's holding it in place. Now that whole thing can just slide right out. So probably what I will do is come in and just do a little bit, maybe right there. Sometimes then it doesn't want to stick to the cover anymore, so then I'll just do it to the paper, and it's good. So that will make sure that that's not going to go anyplace. But I've added just enough that it's not going to go anyplace, but not too much that when the month is over, I can't just pull all those pieces out when I'm ready to use the cover for something else or a different setup. Alrighty. Now we are going to just take a look at a couple of these larger pieces that we have left over. Normally we don't have things that are like this because normally we're using the 3x4 cards. So all of the cards are 3x4, oh, not quite yet, Kim. All the cards are 3x4 and we don't have a kind of, longer, skinnier ones to work with. What I think is so fun about these two, these can work really well in your inserts for doing little flip-ups. So if I were to just go right here, I could take, is that upside down? It is. I know it's, you can't tell from the B's whether it's upside down or not, but the wording, I'll get that upside down. So I'm just going to put this one right here. And I would just use a little bit of my washi. And I could do that. And then I would lift it up and I would put a little bit more washi there, just so that it is going to stay secure for me. So I could do that with any kind of pattern paper. If I have little note cards or little not note cards, what am I thinking? If I had like these. So I could do the same thing, and this is just a little, you know, not even magnetic, just a little to-do list. If I wanted, I could put one of those right in there and do the same thing with washi. So I think these cards are kind of fun just to add a little bit of extra. I could do the same thing with this little guy. Or if I wanted, I could come in and do something like this on the side. So yeah. Little washi there. Open it up. And a little bit more washi on the other side. I always kind of double reinforce it like that, just so it's not going to go anywhere. It'll make sure that it stays in place. All right. Now, as Kim says, the moment we've all been waiting for. All right. So one of the things that I had included in your kit, a pocket page. And if you've ever done pocket page scrapbooking, if you have ever, let me just kind of get these things set off to the side so I know what I'm looking for. If you've ever done pocket page scrapbooking, if you have ever done one of my mini book kits, if it is a mini book kit with an album, hi Denise. If it's a mini book kit that has the rings in it, you were familiar with these, right? This is a pocket page. And normally what we do, we put like 3x4 cards in there, a photo here, photos everywhere. You can use these in your traveler's notebooks, in your inserts. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and then we will, you really only need to do two things to make them work. So I'll show you a couple of examples, and then we'll do it. Move this out of the way. So I have two different configurations of pocket pages here. This one is the exact same configuration of the one that you have in your kits. I've just folded it a little bit differently. Well, I folded it. This isn't folded, right? So when I have this, I've basically taken this and I fold it in half. I have two pockets here, right? So I've just added some little die cuts in there. And I have a 4x6 pocket over here. Those are stickers. More stickers. Because we folded it using the seam, that center seam, this seam here, I can now take this little guy and I can slide it into one of my inserts using the elastic. Okay, so now I have a little like folder, a little plastic folder that I can use to carry some of my supplies with me. So maybe I'm going out of town and I know, I'm going to be on the airplane and I want to work in my traveler's notebook for a little bit, but I don't want to bring a ton of stuff. I really just want to be able to bring this and that's it. Well, I can add a few die cuts, add a few stickers. I could add one of my washi cards, and we've done this, I think a couple times over the last 4 years that I've been doing the Traveler's Notebook kit. So I could even have washi with me using a regular playing card. I just wrap around a regular wax coated playing card, but those fit really well in those little side pockets. And that's just using that little page protector, the pocket page. We're just kind of turning it a different way to make it work for us. This is another fun thing that you can do with one of them. Let's say you're like, well, yeah, I never leave the house. And with COVID, right, it's kind of seemed like we've never left the house. And you have all your supplies with you all the time. So you're like, yeah, I don't think I'd really use this because, I have what I need with me. Okay. The next thing that you can do the same thing, but instead of having product in there, you can have photos, right? Because that's what these are meant for originally. These go into our mini books and we add photos. So it's kind of fun to have a little thing like this and have photos. So anytime you open up your traveler's notebook, you see your family or your friends, your pets, some of your favorite memories. Here, this one is a pocket page that instead of having two 3x4s and a 4x6, has a 4x6 here and a 4x6 here. So there's a photo, there's a photo, there's a photo. That is one photo, but I have printed 4 up on one 4x6. So that way I can kind of have my family and friends with me at all times. If I wanted, I could put that the very beginning of my traveler's notebook in one of the elastics, so it's always there. But usually I prefer to not waste an elastic. I'll just slide it in the middle of one of my inserts using that elastic. So you can do that, and if you have pocket pages at home, you can kind of look at some of your pocket pages. There's a lot of different configurations that would work for. When I do this, I pretty much stick to the 6x8s and not the 12x12s because the 12x12s are too big, unless you cut them, which you could cut them down and make them work. So all we have to do to turn this, which right now is meant for a mini book, into like this really cool little dashboard where we can add photos or add product. All we have to do is 2 things. The first thing is we need to cut off the little part with the holes, right? We don't need that there. I mean, that's just kind of superfluous, so we don't need it. I just, when I cut, want to make sure that I cut to the right of the seam. I don't want to cut to the left of the seam. If I cut to the left of the seam, and I realize that's kind of hard, Yes, you know what, Denise? There is a way. So before I cut, let's think about what Denise just asked. She said, is there a way to use those as a tip-in? So a tip-in is basically what we did here. But a tip-in, usually when I do a tip-in, I would take that. Let me find one because it's easier to explain. I mean, show than tell. Hang on. You walk over here. So here we go. This is an example of a tip-in. Basically what I did before, when we took those 2 long pieces and put them in, but here I am adding them kind of to the inside, to the center of the spread, if you will. So I just take washi. In this case, it's a postcard. It's half on the object that I am inserting and then half on the insert. Same thing on the back. It's half on the item, in this case a postcard, and then half on my insert. So that is a tip-in. So what Denise was asking is, could we use that as a tip-in? So it's too tall and it is too wide if we use it this way. We could shorten it, which would be okay. We'd still have, part of the pockets. But if we cut it over here, we cut into the pocket. You could cut in over here, but this is what I would use for the part that gets tipped in. I would have my washi go onto that. So could we do it this way? Yes, we could. So if you wanted to use just this pocket, you could cut right here below that center seam. I would cut this part off too. And then just come in with your washi on either side and then tip that in. So, okay, if you cut half the hold band off, this part, is it the hold band? And still fold it in half. I'm not following, Lauren. I'm sure it totally makes sense. This way. Yes? A flip out. Okay, a flip out. Okay, so you could do this. For sure, you could make one of these work. But there's another product, hold band hats like this up here. Oh, like this, yeah? Is that what you mean? I get it. Okay, I think I understand. I'm gonna do it. Let's see. And I won't hurt anything because I could still do it the other way. So I'm coming here, I'm cutting off this half part, right? And I'm gonna stop. I think I totally get it. Stop right there, like that. So I just cut that part off. Now I could fold this. And then this top part is what I am adhering. Yes. Okay. You know what's funny, Lauren? You totally explained that the right way. It just took my mind a minute to understand what you meant, but I get it. So that's a perfect. So Denise, yes. In this case though, what it would be, right? Let's just take a look. In this case, we would take a little bit of our washi and we would do that. And then I always put some on the other side just to make sure that it holds in place. And that, and then look at, I love it. Lauren, you're a genius. I love that. That is such a great idea. Okay, but usually what I do is when I fold that, I'll come in with my bone folder because you want that to be a pretty, you know, crisp, full. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. The other thing though, now that we're talking about that, I'm totally going off script. Not that there is a script, but the other thing then that I want to show you, let me see if I have a 4x6 in there too. My little pouch that has all the examples in it. Okay. I'll show you actually a number of things now that we're down this little path. Where did I just lose that? It was just here. Maybe not. Okay. So what we have here, this is called a photo flip. It is called a photo flip. So it's kind of the same thing. Again, this is a product that was made for Pocket Pages. So the idea behind this was if I had one of my Pocket Pages in a 6x8 album, this right here is a pocket right there. Okay. It's a pocket right here. That is adhesive. So if I pull that back, it is self-adhesive and I can attach this to anything. So look at, even if I wanted, I could add 3 or 4 right here and just keep going and going and going. We could have all kinds of cool stuff going on here. But I could also, instead of taking that little elastic, the plastic off and put that back on, if I didn't want it to maybe stick permanently, I could still come in and do the exact same thing with my washi and use that as my little pocket. Those come in 3 sizes, a 3x4, a 4x6, and a 4x4. So those are kind of fun to play with in your traveler's notebooks as well. But I would just do this. And lift that up and come on the other side. Like that, okay? So, Pocket Pages as inserts or tip-ins, and then photo flips as inserts or tip-ins. And I have all of those on my website. If you are like, oh my gosh, I love those and want to make more. But now let me finish this because this was before Lauren's amazingly awesome idea. And now I'm going to keep this, Lauren, in my little example folder so that next time I'll remember. If I didn't want to do this and wanted it to be like this, I would just continue cutting this part. And then there you have it. So I have the little side pockets here that I can put things in. And then over here, I have the other side pocket. Okay? And that, Kim Pope, is what the pocket page is for. Photos, embellishments, washi, whatever it is, whatever you have. It's just kind of a fun little thing to add or accessorize with your inserts. How is that grandbaby? Oh, you're not talking to me, right? Okay, good. Oh, but I also, so I have a few extra cards, like I could even, you know, just tuck my little cards in here or whatever. All right, friends. So that is, oh no, it's not. That is like the formal end, although it's not really formal. That is the end of what that we all do together with the products that we have in the kit. But then what I like to do at the end of each one of these, I like to take what I have left over and I decorate my monthly calendar. So that is what I'm going to do now. And if you want to hang out and watch me do that on the fly, then you can. Otherwise, you can go about the rest of your evening. If you do go about the rest of your evening, I have not yet set the date for our August setup. So we will do that probably, oh, I was going to say, let me look at a calendar. How about this one? Probably, oh yes, for sure. We're doing it the third week in July because I am gone the last week in July. So it will be sometime this third week of July, and I will, probably later this week, I will send out an email with that information so you know when we're going to do that setup. Using that so cute, I can't remember what it's called, Nomies. No, Nomies. But there's more to it. Oh, duh. Crafting with my Nomies. Hello. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to take what I have left over. I have some stickers. And I also have the product strips that I said you might want to keep those. So let's see where those went. Oh, here they are. All right. So sometimes, oh, well, it's not going to work this time. Usually what I do when I decorate the months, I usually come and do something across the bottom. Something across the bottom. I either put washi, well, I usually don't do washi because I usually don't have any washi left after I've used the kit. But I'll either use stickers or sometimes I will use the product strip, right? That product strip is about the same height as a standard roll of washi. So sometimes I'll just take that strip and tear it and then use it like it's washi. However, I really can't do that here because it would cover the last week. But I could maybe, let's see. No, I can't do it up there. It's just, that's not me. It's just, it'll be too weird if I do that. So that won't work. But I'm just going to come in and take some of my little stickers. That'll be cute there. Actually, what if we did this? We could cover up part of this. Yeah, let's do that. So I don't have the washi yet for Simple Vintage Lemon Twist. But when I do this, I only use what I have left over. So we'll just rip that like it's washi, and then I'll come in and put a little bit of adhesive behind that. So that's just the product strip, that little strip that is on the bottom of the paper. All right. Oh, good day. That's a good one. Let's see. We'll put good day right there. There's some blank space in the 22nd and 23rd. This actually, so this would have been really cute there. Well, it actually wouldn't have worked as well. I would have covered up that. So it's good that I just used that. I could put this up here Yeah, you know what? That's where it's going to go. So here's the deal. I don't get too hung up about covering up all of those days because I have Friday, Saturday. I know what those days are. Okay. Or if I didn't want it to go there, I could have picked it up and kind of set it right there. And it would work really well this month because you have all those empty days. We're still June here before we hit July. Little butterfly. What, Denise? I must have missed something. I must have missed what was going on with your little grandson, your grandbaby. That one there. So you always have so many stickers left over. Put that little guy there. So many stickers to just kind of keep decorating, whether you use a monthly insert or maybe you just are working on a scrapbook page, not work just, but working on a scrapbook page. Or these are great then to keep and use in your listing. If you are listing with us on Saturdays or, on your own. Oh, Denise, so I think I remember, I think I remember seeing that on Facebook. So it went well? It went well? I'm so glad. That's great. That's scary, huh? How old is he? Let's see. Let's do that. We'll put the B right over notes. This is so much color in it that it doesn't need a lot, right? It really doesn't need a lot. And I've already pretty much filled out my calendar for the month. So if I wanted, that's actually a perfect little size to go right there. So there we go. Oh, happy day. That'll bring a little bit more of that teal color into the calendar. And then these are cute. Sweet Life. 9 months. Oh, what a little sweetie. Need to chop this off a little bit. Like so. So just decorate with what I have. Use it, right? That's all about using it. Whether you use it for this or you're using it for something else entirely, just use it, right? Because we have so much stuff that we don't, that doesn't get used. And then we think we'll use it one day and then we don't. And then we're putting together, he's your tiny hero, that's so sweet. And then we're putting together D-stash boxes and sending them to people that said they wanted them, which is in the works, friends. If you know about that, then you know. It's in the works. I had Lily start working on that. No, I don't like that there. I had Lily start working on that on Friday. So could be later this week. Just depends on whether or not the rest of Lemon Twist gets here. I really hope it does because then I'd have her work on that instead. But alrighty. So I think that's good. I think that's good. My July is all ready to go. Okay, friends. Now I'm going to... Denise, you know what? I think I remember you mentioned that last time. So Denise just said she challenges herself to use all the leftover stickers on her monthly calendar like this, but also with the monthly inserts. And these I have on my website as well. Also with the monthly inserts, you have this little page, kind of this month, right? So for the month of July, this is where I would write birthdays, important dates, things that I need to do, any goals that I have, things that I don't want to forget. And my notes could either be for the coming month or the notes could be for the prior month for June. So yeah, it gives you more room to kind of keep using stuff. Okay, friends, I'm going to flip the camera. Who wasn't here at the beginning? Because this might require some explanation. I'm flipping the camera. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at back there. That's my cupboard that I was pulling things out of. Yes, if you weren't here at the beginning, I'm like, oh, natural tonight. Yes, somebody said, oh, you look so comfortable. Yes. So I didn't shower, went on a hike, Did all kinds of things, but anyhow. So that is our setup for July. As I said, stay tuned probably later this week for the email with the information for our August class to set up. And I think that's all. Saturday, we're doing our listing session again on Saturday. So if you, gosh, I'm just a mess. I'm a hot mess. Those are like full of fingerprints. Yes, listing session on Saturday. So if you want to join us for that, then that's here on my YouTube channel also. And then I think next Monday, we have the Sweet and Simple. If you bought the Sweet and Simple mini book kit, the file folder mini book kit, that class is next Monday. And then the Twilight Traveler's Notebook kit is next Thursday. So you should have emails from me. If you purchase those, you should have emails with all of those details. Unless you ordered like within the last day or two, then you probably don't have it yet. All right, friends. Yes, hope you have a good evening. Hope that you are, normally I'd say ready to go for the month of July because we'd be doing this in June instead of July, but here we are. So now you're really ready to roll and hit July because your Traveler's Notebook is all set up. And if I don't see you before then, I will see you for our August setup. Okay, guys, take care, stay safe, and I will see you around at some point. Bye-bye.